In this Academy video, I will give you a quick overview of your template or space editor. So Valuecase is structured in a way where you have workspaces for your customers, and then you have templates as blueprint for these workspaces. The editors are almost the same. There's a couple more settings on the templates. If you want to templatize some automations, you would do that on a template level. And then the workspaces are individual links for every customer. And then you can do changes there that just affect that customer. Now, let me go into the template here. I have my first template in this account. And yeah, if you go to a space first, you will see a very similar thing. So this is the editor. And first of all, you have the sidebar on the left. This is for a lot of settings that I will show you in a sec. And then you have the preview of the workspace template here on the right. And you see that it's a template just by seeing welcome contact company name. In a workspace, this would be, for example, Microsoft, right? Or your customer's name or the first name, last name you can put in there as well. And then I have on the top here the preview, so I can just see it full screen, just almost like my customer would experience it. And then I can press escape to go back to the editor screen. And I want to take you quickly through the sidebar because this is one of the most important things of the Valuecase platform. So you have the navigation here on the left side, and you can toggle between pages, blocks, content, and a few other settings. And the editor works in a very simple way. So you see on the left side your pages, for example, overview, briefing, your onboarding tasks, and let's go. That's the same thing that you see in the preview. So briefing, your onboarding task, let's go, and the overview page here that is selected at the moment. So these are my pages, and I can add a new page like so. I could just write new page, or I can go one level deeper, which are the blocks. Everything here on the right. So you see if I hover, it highlights in blue on both sides. Everything here on the right is a block. So I have a media block, for example, here. Then I have what we call a next task block, a progress block, and a cards block, and then a files block. So I have a couple of blocks on every page, and you can freely design what you want to have. We have the standard templates. You will always start with one. You might already have a couple of templates in your account if you're joining an account that's active with us for a while. But you can really freely set this up and make it work for your use case. And there's many different use cases you could also do with our platform, from building a customer onboarding portal to building a sales room to maybe building a QBR template or an employee onboarding template. You can really freely design this to make it work for your use case. And you add a new block again, just like so. So just like with the pages, you click on new block and then you can insert it. And for example, if I click text, a text block will appear. If you want to edit any content within that block, you would just click on the text and you can edit it. So I can just write it here and also in there. And this is how I fill it out. I can highlight the text to get a bit more formatting options like you would typically expect, or double click inside will do the same thing. And then I can, on the left side, add things to these blocks. So for example, this text block allows me to add items here, which are images, files, videos, and so on. So I could, for example, go and say, upload file and embed. I can either start with a YouTube video or a Google Drive link or so, or I can just upload a file, a video or image, no problem. And every block there is a bit different. So for example, this files block already has a few items, and you can see here that I have a link to a website, I have a slide deck with a PDF, and a document, which is a PDF as well. Or this block, which is our cards block, it has cards here. And I can also just add a new card to this just to show you. And you can see here it appears. And then I can, again, just edit the text. And you will just need to explore the blocks a bit. Of course, in our Help Center, you will find a very good overview of all the different block types. And there are a few special blocks, like, for example, the action plan and the forms block. So you see here a form, or you see our action plan in here. And this is something we will cover in separate lessons to this one, just because it would go a bit deep. And yeah, this is how you use the editor. So pages, blocks, and then the content of specific blocks, like here I would see, for example, the milestones. And then there are three more things on the left side. First of all, the checklist. This is a feature that you can explore if you click learn more. So I wouldn't cover this today. And then we have settings here for the template. For example, here you can configure email notifications and workflows, something that we will cover in the Academy too. And then we have the AI chat that deserves a separate video as well. But this can use almost all the features in pages, blocks, and content to help you creating your workspaces and templates and tailor them. So you don't even have to learn all the block types and so on, and can just let it know what you want and it will create it on the right side. I now want to switch to a workspace and also show you a couple of tweaks there. So let me go back to my homepage, which is the space list. And I have here my first example customer. The space editor is almost the same as the template editor. And you see that here, it looks basically the same. The principles are all the same as well. There are a few other settings, and there's the activity feed that tracks if your customer comes in on the space level. However, there's a few other features that you probably want to use when you are here in the spaces. And the most important one are the toggles. So these toggles allow you to show and hide certain sections. So I can go and say, I don't want to have the Let's Go page yet. And it will be removed on the right side only for this customer, right? Because I'm in the customer workspace. And I can just toggle it on again as well. And this doesn't only work for pages. It also works, for example, for specific blocks. So I could just get rid of this block. It also works for parts of blocks. So for example, I go to this quick links and files and I want to turn off the slides PDF. Now this shows you that you can really build your mothership template where you put in all the stuff, you put in the entire customer journey, and then based on a customer, you might unlock and lock certain things. You might basically build the customer journey over time. You don't want to show everything in the beginning. This is how you do it. You can even automate this. So we have a feature that's called visibility automation to basically hide and show certain things based on variables. We also have workflows that allow you to unlock certain things after certain stages have been reached or so, but this is something for a later video. And hopefully this gives you a good overview of our editor. That's it for this video, and I see you in the next one.